This here. So today we got a Rikka deck profile for you guys today. So before we continue into this deck, just to let you guys know, this is our opinion. This is the way I played it at our locals about a month ago when we were going. This is a different build. It is Predaplant and then it's a fusion based build, but you still get the control out of it. So this is post Rise of the Duelist. So we do have the new level 4 Rikka card, which we actually desperately needed in this deck. So it's a good upgrade. So before we get into this, just make sure to please go like, subscribe, and Hulk smash that like button, guys. Hulk smash, man. Hulk smash, do it. And then don't forget to go to our little competition. Go see those videos of me and Joel unwrapping Rise of the Duelist. Go see who won. Don't forget, but it was it wasn't actually pretty close. But you go see for you guys yourselves, alright? So without further ado, just don't forget to, go to our Instagram and our Twitter page. You can also go to our Facebook. We also have we'll have a link down there too for our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. So like I said, this is Rikka's. This is gonna be a different type of build. It's a little bit different than what's out there. So when in the tournament I went 2-3. It was supposed to be 3-3, but I did go up against my last opponent was Joel, and I did go up with him against Eldridge, and he whooped me. But other than that, it did good against Cyber Dragon and Gyoki. So alright, so let's get started into this deck profile. So the main card in the deck is going to be Rikka Petal. So we do run 3 Rikka Petal. This card is absolute at 3. What this card does is when this card's on the field, you can search a monster from your deck to your hand. And then if it's in your graveyard, and at the end of the turn, if you control all plant or no monsters at all, on your opponent's turn, special summon it back on the field. So this is your main searcher of the deck. It is absolutely necessary at 3. It is also level 1, so pretty easy to go into to some good synchro plays as well. Alright, so absolutely necessary at 3. So next card we do run is Mudan. We run 3 Mudan. This is also another one of your main searchers, believe it or not. When this card is in your hand, you can tribute a plant monster, special summon it, and you could bring a Rikka spell trap card from your deck to your hand. So a good card also. And then if you have it on the field, you could tribute any plant monster you have 2, bring in Glamour, tribute for Glamour, and then get 2 searches instead of 1. So it's pretty good. This is one of your main combo plays. Alright, and then I do run 2 Snowdrop. My recommendation is to run it at 3. The only reason why I run it at 2 is because I only have 2. I haven't been able to pick up the 3rd one. But this card's effect is pretty amazing. So what this card does is you can tribute a plant monster and special summon 2 plant monsters from your hand. And then you can target 1 plant monster, and all plants become that level. So it's pretty good for Exceeds plays and also for synchro plays. So yeah, so she's absolutely necessary to have, but 3 would be best to have. On to the next card, Promola. So we do run 2 Promola, just like I said, because we do got the new XYZ. So we do run 2. So what we do with what this card does is if a plant monster is tributed, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can target another plant monster, and it reduces his level by 2. So it's pretty good. So if you have Mudan on the field and Promola, you could reduce her level by 2, and you could go for a rank 4. This deck desperately needed it, especially now because of Promola, and so now that we have it, this deck is going to be way more consistent and better. So I do run 1 Erika and 1 Hellbore. So Erika's an honest for the deck, and then Hellbore is a negate for the deck. They both have the same effect to where they're on the graveyard. You could tribute a plant from the field and bring them back, but they are banished at the end of the when they leave the field. So that's the only downfall. Other than that, they're pretty good cards. I do run 1. You can run more, but run it's pretty good because they are technically recyclable for 1 turn. But if you ever use their effect, it should be game after that. For the next cards we run that's not Rikka's is gonna be the Predaplant Engine. So we do run 2 Scorpio, one Cobra, and then one Spinosaurus. So the reason why I run this ratio is because 2 Cobra, when it's special summon, you get to add a poly or a fusion to hand, which I'll show you the fusion cards that we do run later. And then for Stegosaurus, if this card is normal or special summon, you could place a Predaplant counter on your opponent's monster, and then if its attack is less to or equal to this card and this card destroys it, you get to special summon another Predaplant. And then this one, normal or special summon, you get to bring out a Predaplant monster after you ditch a card. So it's pretty good. This engine, I like it better than the Evil Thorn, I think it was. I like this better, but if you want, you can substitute these for Evil Thorns, but I like this even better. Alright, so for the next one, we do run Longflower Blossom. Very self-explanatory, so you know it's pretty good. Also, if you have Promola, you get her effect, so it's pretty good. All right, so the next one of I run is gonna be the Generator Boss Monster, Spore, and Elemental Hero Bubble Man. So for the Generator Boss Monster, the reason why I run it is because 1, she is a plant. 2, she's special summonable with Longflower Blossom, and then if she is special summoned, you can add a plant from your deck to your hand, so that it's another searcher for the deck. Spore, if Spore is in your graveyard, you can basically banish a plant monster, and it gains that level plus its level. So if you banish Longflower Blossom, it goes up to a level 4. And then Bubble Man is because I do run Absolute Zero in the deck, because this deck really has problems getting over boards that are monsters over 3,000. It is kind of hard, but with Bubble Man, you can get over them pretty quickly. All right, so that's it for the monsters. Now off to the spells. For the spells, of course, we're going to be running 3 Rikka Glamour. This card is amazing. When basically you have 2 options. You can either activate it and get one of your searches, or activate it, tribute plant monster, and you get 2 searches. You could search 2 Rikka monsters with the same level from your deck to your hand, or just search out 1 Rikka. So this card does give you options. Just know, if you don't have another plant, if you tribute a plant monster and you bring Snowdrop and you're trying to do that combo, I wouldn't recommend tributing that monster, especially if you don't have anything else, because that's gonna stop you cold. So, you know, other than that, you just got to be a little bit careful with this deck. All right, so the other Rikka spell I run is going to be Flurries. Now, this card is really, really good. I feel like it's underrated with some people, because a lot of people aren't running this, but it is pretty good. I'm thinking about moving it up to 2, but then I don't want to see it in my hand right away. But what this card does is, if a Rikka monster is tributed, you tribute one of your opponent's monster of their choosing. So, you know, especially with the trap card that we have with Sheets, you know, you tribute a monster and you have this on the field, and then you take over their monster. They only have 1 monster on the field. By default, they have to tribute it. So, you know, it's pretty good. It doesn't target and it doesn't destroy, so it's even better. All right, so for the next card we do run, and I do run this at 3 just because hand traps, especially Ash Blossom, really mess up this deck. If you don't get your searches out, you're not gonna make a play that turn. So Ash Blossom is a really like kryptonite for this deck, and you can't play any. You just need to have this in your hand to make sure you don't get ashed. All right, and then for the last 2 spells that we play, it's gonna be Fusion Deployment and Super Polymerization. These 2 are both searchable with the Predaplant cards that we do run. The only problem with this is that it does put you on a fusion lock. Petal and Snowdrop, they both put you in a plant lock. So that's another big disappointment for the deck, because they do put you in a plant lock, and then this puts you in a fusion lock. And then the reason why I run Super Poly is because for the other Predaplant fusion monsters that we run, just in case they have dark monsters, and also it can't be interrupted. The plant lock doesn't really affect this fusion build. All right, so the next card I run is 2 Sheets. You can activate it and then target one of your opponent's monsters, tribute one of your plants take control of the monster you targeted, and it can activate its effect, and then it becomes a plant. So it's pretty good to stop your opponent's big monsters, and you know, it's also a good tribute, and the monster becomes plant, so you continue off with most of your plays. And then one tranquility, I only run one. I see people run two, but I run it at one because it's basically a trap monster reborn for the deck. You can even get 2 summons if you tribute a plant, but other than that, it's pretty good. All right, and then I do run 3 Pollinosis. This card is amazing, especially for plants. If a monster is normal or special, and then spell or trap card is activated, you can activate this card, tribute a plant, and negate it. So it's pretty good, especially for the tributing effect. All right, so we do run 3 off of this card. So off to the next trap. The next trap, we do run 3 infinite impermanents. It's a hand trap and an actual trap. So it's pretty self-explanatory, best trap in the game so far. All right, so now we're gonna go off to the XYZs. I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. It's gonna be 2 teardrop, 1 of the other queen, and then the new level 4 teardrop, tribute detach, tribute a monster, and every time a plant monster is tributed against 200 attack, that is not once per turn. This card is, you can detach a card and special summon a monster from your opponent's side of the grave. Just target in either graveyard and special summon it. And then this card is pretty amazing. So you can a Rikka monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So if this card is tributed, summon a XYZ 5 or higher from the extra deck to the field and add this as material. So that's pretty good. That's how you're gonna get most of your combos out. But this ratio might change, but right now I like it at that. All right, so I do run the 1 trap tricks, you know, detach 2, special summon a plant. And then off to the fusions, I do run the Chimera, the Dragon, and then I run Starving Venom, and I do run Absolute Zero. So these 2, if you are in a plant lock, these 2 are the ones. Well, this one you're gonna go for, and then with Super Poly you would go for this Absolute Zero. If you're not in a plant lock, you go for Absolute Zero, Starving Venom as well. They're easy targets. And then for the synchros, I do run Black Rose Dragon, Dragite, and Omega. So self-explanatory, blow up the field, negate, spawn trap cards, and negate monsters. And then off to the links, I do run Anaconda, Cross Sheep, and Phoenix. So Anaconda to, you know, for the fusion plays, Cross Sheep because you do fusion summon a lot, and then and also XYZ a lot, and Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of back row. And essentially, if you're co-linked, which you probably won't be, but if you do run another card, you get that extra draw. So that's it for our video, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Like I said, this deck profile is a little bit different than most decks I've seen out there. A lot of people are running the Evil Thorns, but this is what I like. Like I said, I did okay with locals, especially with the new XYZ. I can't wait to see how I do next time. So I will be playing around with this deck, and we'll see how we do in locals, and we might give you guys a update on it. All right, so that's it for today's video. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and don't forget to go to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter page and give us a like there. All right, without further ado, this is our video. See you guys later.